Hello, and welcome back to The Legend of Heroes: Trails in the Sky. It is time to try to sneak into the Royal Keep and meet the Queen. And it looks like we got interrupted on the way there. I was going to search out Headmaid Hilda. Oh, it's you. What? Oh dear. Colonel Richard. Estelle, Joshua, this is our first opportunity to truly speak face-to-face, I believe. The last time we saw one another was right after Mayor Dalmore was arrested, wasn't it? I'm honestly surprised that you remember us. I realized that we exchanged few words, but you made quite an impression on me. My curiosity was piqued, so I did a bit of checking up on you. I was quite surprised to learn that you were the children of Colonel Cassius. How do you find that out? I mean, your last name is Bright, Estelle. Probably in all the official records. Please understand, I'm not trying to show off the Intelligence Division's capabilities. I'm greatly indebted to him from our time together in the Army. Indeed, more than words can properly express. Might I persuade you to stay a while and talk? I've been hoping to speak with you two for quite some time now. Huh? Pardon me, Colonel, but don't you have a meeting with His Grace? I don't mind being a bit late. Ah yes, if we're going to talk, why don't we use the lounge inside? I'll mix you up a couple of virgin cocktails. I'll prepare them, sir. No, that won't be necessary. I want you to go to His Grace and inform him that I'll be delayed. Yes, sir. Yeah, Amathea is not having any of this. How dare Colonel Richard notice other people that aren't me? Pardon me, then. Now then, shall we retire to the lounge? Please, follow me. Joshua, what should we do? I don't see where we have much choice but to follow him. We'll be a little late, but we can talk with the headmaid later. Yeah, I mean, this isn't great, but I mean, you might learn something interesting here. I met Cassius shortly after I graduated from the military academy. I was assigned to a mobile unit that was under his command, and since that time I found myself in his debt again and again, both personally and professionally. He did? And, what did you think of him at the time? To put it simply, he was a hero, and a master swordsman to boot. No matter the scenario, he could find a way to handle any number of battlefronts in every direction. It wasn't just a matter of sheer tactics, he understood and could direct high-level strategy as well. Quite simply, he was a man without peer. If I didn't know better, I'd say we were talking about two different people. So you were with our father during the 100 Days' War? Yes, he was my CO. Commanding officer, I believe. Even now, I can still vividly remember the excitement that filled me as we executed his plan that turned the war's tide. Anytime I get to talking about those days, time just runs away with me. But this much I can tell you. If Cassius Bright had not been part of the Royal Army, Liberal would now be part of the Erebonian Empire. No way. That's kinda hard to believe. Well, as a hero, he had a knack for doing unbelievable things. He left the army immediately after the war, declining even a medal from the Queen, so few know of his achievements. But inside the army, many soldiers still hold him up as the prime example of what a hero should be. He never said one word about any of this to me. Well, it's not really the kind of thing you tell your daughter about. It's not fair to criticize him for that. Hey, whose side are you on? And besides, why doesn't any of this shock you like it shocks me? Did you already know about all of this or something? Well, I didn't know that he was Colonel Richard's superior officer. The rest I knew about. Vaguely. Vaguely? You're an accomplice? Hey, calm down. It's not like he told me any of it, I just figured a lot of it out. He told me he didn't feel it was something worth going out of his way to tell others about. I just don't get it. When he comes back, he is so in trouble. Please excuse us. We didn't mean to interrupt. No, seeing you like this is actually a bit of a relief. When I found out that your father was intending to leave the military, I desperately tried to stop him, but it seems that by leaving, he did what was best for himself after all. After losing his dear wife, maybe being with you was all that could help him recover. Colonel Richard. Now then, I thank you for taking the time to come here. I really can't keep the Duke waiting, so I'm afraid you'll have to excuse me. Oh, alright. Our apologies for making you so late. Not at all. You both have told me the one thing I wanted most to know, and thus I have no regrets. Huh? How's that again? I'm sure we'll have a chance to speak again soon. Cassius might even be with us then, to share in the stories. Yeah, so what did Colonel Richard gain from that interaction? You trying to figure out if we were working for Cassius or knew about Cassius's whereabouts or anything like that? I'm guessing something along those lines. Okay. Who is that man, and what has he done with Colonel Richard? What are you babbling about now? It's just that it's weird to hear him talking about Dad that way. I wasn't expecting him to be so, well, nice. True, he doesn't seem all that villainous anyway. Even so, it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that he's got something up his sleeve. For now, we should probably put the issue of Dad aside. Yeah, I guess you're right. And I hate to say it, but I think he might have been playing nice just because he could get something out of it. He's an intelligence officer, so he probably thinks that fooling a couple of kids is as easy as could be. Don't you think that's going a little too far? You might be right. Let me be the one who's mistrustful of others. You should just follow your instincts and believe whatever you think is right. Huh? But just make sure you're prepared for anything. Don't let your guard down. I'd say Bracer's job is pretty much that, in fact. Okay, I got it. I'll keep it in mind. Thank you, Estelle. Thank you? What the heck are you thanking me for? Anyway, we need to go back and see Hilda. She's probably sick of waiting for us. Yeah, she should be in the maid quarters. Would you like an after-dinner drink? You can make anything you'd like, on or off the menu. I don't see Zin here, not yet. But we have... Oops, let's just barge into someone's bedroom. Actually, while we're on the subject, I suppose we could probably talk to all of the people again, right? Or are they all at a meeting? Well, here's one. Estelle! Joshua! So, have you met with Her Majesty? Nope, we're procrastinating. Favorite activity of... Oh, hello. There's currently an important meeting being held in the throne room. If you were hoping to look around, I'm afraid you'll have to try again later. Okay. No, procrastination, favorite activity of teenagers everywhere. I can't believe the Queen's so worried she's considered abdication. And Princess Claudia choosing a husband at her age? Events are unfolding so quickly I hardly have time to react. Yes, this is all a little bit suspect, you might say. Seems it was a banquet to remember, and now my mistress has yet another worry to wrinkle her brow. It's okay, just use makeup. More makeup. What a shock this banquet has been. Duke Dunan as official successor to the throne. If anything could bring on a migraine, it's that. Food was amazing, but the conversation and flow of mind were much less so. So if you'll excuse me, I have some lost drinking time to make up for. Yeah, same thing you said previously, but that's fine. Dean Collins? The Colonel's points are all very logical and rational, but I believe it would be best to get the particulars from Her Majesty and Her Highness the Princess directly. Something interesting about that line. That the capitalization of princess is disturbing me for some reason. Like, princess whatever would be capitalized, because that would be a title. But talking about her as the princess, it shouldn't be capitalized there, should it? Alright, this isn't the room. Or is it? Wait, where is this? Okay. Somehow I completely lost track of where I am, and what? Did I just miss these stairs last time? I must have. Was this here this whole time? This is a restricted area. Suspicious individuals can and will be arrested on the spot, so watch yourselves. The entrance is firmly sealed. There we go. Ah, there you are. I've been waiting for you. You're awfully late, aren't you? Sorry about that. We kind of got caught by Colonel Richard. Did you now? He had some things to tell us about her dad. I don't think he has any idea what we're up to, though. I see. Ah yes, that letter of introduction did mention that you are Mr. Cassius's children. I can understand at least some of how Colonel Richard feels. Oh, do you know her dad too? He used to come here when he worked as General Morgan's aide-de-camp. I'm told that he was a school friend of the late Prince's, Her Majesty's son. Late Prince? Princess Claudia's father. Yeah, see, Princess should be capitalized in that instance. I don't know why this is sticking out to me at the moment. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't really matter. English is like that a lot of the time. Yes, he was killed 15 years ago in a tragic shipwreck. Would that he were still alive today, none of this would be happening. Huh? But lamenting what might have been is a fool's errand. We do have time magic. But time only seems to fast forward, not rewind. At least with the Sepith that we have. Evening is fast approaching. We must make our preparations at once. Come on in, Shea. Oh hey, aren't you Shea, right? Yes, thank you for remembering. You look well, Estelle, Joshua. I've been told of your current predicament. You won't find a more dependable child. She's a great help to us whenever the princess is in the castle. Princess Claudia. That shouldn't pose a problem. Thank you. If you're ready, you should go change into your uniforms. The ribbons and the headpiece are tricky, so I'll adjust them for you. What? What do you mean? Yeah, exactly as I predicted. Estelle is going to need to dress as one of the maids in order to get into the royal keep. A little playing with the hair and you'll blend right in. Oh, I get it. Uniforms don't allow for much in the way of personalization. That should be ideal for sneaking in. Huh, me in a maid's outfit. I've been wanting to try one on since we first met Lila. Cute, breezy, and easy to move in. Well, if our uniforms weren't easy to move in, they'd make the cleaning much more difficult. I thought so. Well, let's get the sucker on me. Why so excited? I'm glad you're in high spirits, but you need to remember your manners in front of the Queen. You won't have me to lean on this time. Why not? You're changing too, aren't you? Pardon? I mean, he did play the princess during the play at the campus festival. Is there really that much of a difference between the fancy dress and a maid outfit? That's different. It was a play. I can't appear before Her Majesty in women's clothes. Oh, you'll be fine. It's not at all shameful or anything. Besides, you made such a gorgeous princess. And who knows, Joshua? Putting on a play at a famous, or in fact, I guess the only university that we've seen so far. That seems like the kind of thing that... Like, wasn't Duke Doonan there? The Queen very well could have come to an event like that if she was feeling well. Maybe. Or, you know, she probably has people acting for her at her own castle, if she doesn't have the time to go out. You know, people doing shows here. I'm sure she's seen guys dressed as girls before. Not this again. Cut the jokes, will you? Hilda, Shea, help me out here. Say something. Anyone? I see. That shouldn't pose a problem. Shea, don't you have that extra hairpiece designed for the princess? Yes, it's never been used, though. He has that full, dark hair, so it would probably look good on him. Hey, hold on a second. Well, it looks like a 3-to-1 vote. Majority rules. You're not a democracy, though, are you? Well, this empire is not a democracy, I don't think. This way, please. We can use this as a changing room. Wait a minute, I don't remember ever agreeing to changing. Alright. If I have to change, I can do it myself. Shea, you're not planning on using makeup too, are you? Kids these days. Oh my. Ta-da! What do you think? I think it suits her very well. Such a bright, active maid in training, and after only just coming to the castle too, you certainly have me convinced. And with the hair down like that, no one will be any the wiser. That's right, you always identify anime characters by their hair. It's the perfect disguise, that and a pair of glasses. No one will know. Perhaps you'd like to work at Granzel Castle for real when this is all settled? Well, we already work as bracers, so, anyway. Come on, Joshua, get out here. No chance I can talk you out of this? None at all. You're just making this take longer. Fine. You're impossible sometimes. Got the blushing going on there, too. Well, it's almost frightening how good that looks. Isn't it awesome? Looks better on him than it does on me, and I'm an actual girl. A bit of makeup can make all the difference in the world. Please, just say you're done. Well, I suppose so. I'll show you the way to the royal keep. You need to make certain you watch me and learn how a maid handles herself. And also, Joshua probably shouldn't speak. Yes, ma'am. We're finally going to meet the Queen in person. Yes, this is the do-or-die moment. You just have to stay focused and get to the royal keep. It's hard to take you seriously in that outfit. Well, excuse me, this was your idea. I can't believe you got the nerve to pick on... Sorry, don't get all mad. I'll treat you to some ice cream later, okay? I'm not like you, I'm not obsessed with food. Hey, I'm not obsessed with food. They get along so well, don't they? We're out of time. Let's go to the royal keep. Had enough of your nonsense. We actually get to lead with her, that makes sense. But she's not a party member. Well, if it isn't Hilda, what do you need from me? From us? This is the Intelligence Division's office. Please, it's best if you keep your distance. Oh, hello, Hilda. What brings you out at this hour? As instructed, the castle gate is currently sealed to help ensure security. No one is allowed in or out without special permission. It's not going to say anything. It's currently an important meeting being held in the throne room. I apologize, but you'll have to wait until before you can enter. Also, Joshua has to be wearing a wig, right? Like, his hair just doesn't go that long, normally. I was gonna call the game out for doing fan service by putting Estelle in a maid's dress, but I guess I'm just gonna call the game out for doing fan service by putting Joshua in a maid's dress. That's how it works, right? Hilda, what business do you have with Her Majesty at this hour? I'm bringing some tea and spoons at her request. The current situation means that Her Majesty is denied the right to even go about her daily life as she wishes, after all. Such harsh words. Who are these maids with you? I don't recognize them. His Grace ordered me to hire on some additional staff to help. I mean, that is very plausible. They've only just arrived at the castle today. Really now? Hey, you're pretty cute. Totally hitting on Joshua. Thank you. Huh? Why do I get the feeling we've met before? Crap. You stare so hard at every young lady you see? I do hope you're not thinking any untoward thoughts. Or rather think that His Grace and the Colonel would disapprove. Hey, it's not like that. We're the elite of the Royal Army. We wouldn't do that. All's well then. Now, will you please allow us to pass? Pardon us, ladies. Please, go ahead. Oh, that was intense. Thanks, Hilda. You're a real lifesaver. Yeah, that was really well done. I'm just glad I could help. Now then, are you planning to change your clothes before going to see Her Majesty? If you'd prefer, I can just show you the way now. I think I'm okay as is. Boy clothes, now. Joshua, that's a really bad idea. Normally you're smarter than this. You should remain dressed as maids just in case somebody happens to catch you guys here. Oh, for the love of... Why are you always so self-conscious? What was wrong with what you had on? It's not an issue of self-consciousness. By the way, Hilda, is this room what I think it is? Yes, it is Princess Claudia's bedroom. But she rarely sleeps in the castle, so the room is all but unused. Huh, no kidding. But I heard that the princess was tending to the queen. I guess that's just gossip then? You'd have to ask Her Majesty for the full details. The room is on the second floor of the royal keep. I'll take you there. Okay, do we get to explore around a little bit? Let's go talk to the guards. Her Majesty's room is on the second floor of the royal keep. I'm surprised that they're letting me walk freely, actually, with Hilda. It would have made more sense to do this as a cutscene where she leads and we follow. Actively controlling her allows for some strange interactions. Also... Oh, come on, there's totally space underneath that stairway. I guess we can't. Okay, well, this is a fairly small place compared to the rest of the castle, but I guess that makes sense. A keep is only a small part of a castle, after all. Oh, look at those wall scrolls. Tapestries, I suppose that would be the word for those. So what, just 2 bedrooms? I beg your pardon, Your Majesty. I have brought the 2 I spoke of before. This is Joshua and Estelle. Thank you kindly. Should you really have said that without seeing who was in the room? Maybe I'm just paranoid now, but it feels like there are so many ways that this could all go horribly wrong. By all means, enter. As you wish. I'll wait for you here. You 2 go on in. Right. Pardon us. Oh. I bid you welcome. My name is Alicia von Osleys. I am the 26th monarch of the nation of Liberal. I'm Estelle Bright. I'm a junior bracer of the Bracer Guild, and I'm Joshua Bright of the same affiliation. It is a great honor to meet you, Your Majesty. Estelle and Joshua. I'm just thinking, I'm just noticing this now, is this the first time we've seen a portrait of an older woman in this game? I guess you don't really see a whole lot of old women in Japanese media. Huh. I've truly been looking forward to meeting you both. I regret that I cannot offer you proper hospitality, but I have prepared some tea. Please, have some and relax. I see. So Professor Russell asked you to bring this information. A pitch-black orbment, capable of negating all other orbital energies. And you say that the Colonel has acquired it. The Professor told us that you might have some idea of what he intends to do with it, Your Majesty. Can you tell us anything? I have but a vague idea, but I did not think that the Colonel even knew of it. Perhaps I'm worrying about nothing, but even so. Excuse me, but what is this vague idea you have? I suppose there is no harm in telling you. Roughly 10 years ago, a massive orbital reaction was detected beneath Grand Cell. Professor Russell was the individual who came to investigate. Did this happen in the vicinity of the sewers? No, far deeper underground than that, in fact. Professor Russell was under the impression that it might be a relic of the ancients that still functioned. Wow. So it was a bona fide artifact, then. Most artifacts I know of have lost their function, like the mechanisms on top of the towers. But every now and again you find one that still functions, like Mayor Dalmore's family heirloom. And something like that is beneath Grand Cell. What does that tell us about the Gospel? Maybe it could be used to halt the artifact's functions? Could it do that? Yes. However, we were unable to establish the nature of the artifact, or indeed why it was buried beneath the city. But it is beyond my imaginings how the Colonel could know of its existence. Professor Russell's research on it was kept strictly confidential and off the record. I see. In any event, it seems likely that trouble is on the way. Honestly, just as I start to think that the Colonel might be a slightly nicer guy than we were giving him credit for. But when someone's trying to stir up some trouble, that's when us bracers come in. We won't let him get away with whatever evil scheme he's trying to pull off. I'd expect no less from Cassius's daughter. We're acquainted with our father, Your Majesty. He was a friend of my late son's, and a great savior to the nation. Even after he retired from the army, he would sometimes undertake requests for me. Really? I didn't know that. I imagine that there are a great many things about him that you do not know, including the precise role he played in the war 10 years ago. I assume you've not been told? Well, nothing super detailed. Perhaps then that is the role that I am meant to play. Estelle and Joshua, will you indulge me by listening to an old story? Oh, yes, absolutely. It is no indulgence, Your Majesty. Okay. Was not expecting this. 10 years ago, in the spring, a tragedy occurred in the southern reaches of the Erebonian Empire. Its cause is yet unknown, so that is something I must omit. The Empire used that event as a pretext for their invasion of Liberal. So began the sad times that would become known as the 100 Days' War. Just as the Empire made its declaration of war, a massive military force breached the Hacken Gate. In what seemed like scant moments, all of Liberal became occupied territory, save for Grand Cell. It is said that the invasion force was 3 times the size of the entire Royal Army. Reinforcements from Calvard were too late to stop their advance. It was but a matter of time before Grand Cell too would fall. About 2 months after the outbreak of hostilities, the war changed in a way that none could have imagined. Patrol airships had just been developed and were used to recapture Liberals' checkpoints, severing the Imperial Army's communications. The Royal Army then set about recapturing the major regions one by one using ships launched from Leiston Fortress. Zeiss, Rouen, Bosse, Roland, with their supply lines severed, the Erebonian forces occupying each region were swiftly crushed. And the one behind this plan for a counteroffensive was none other than one Colonel Cassius Bright. We know all 3 of these characters. It was your father, who was General Morgan's right-hand man at the time, as well as Colonel Richard's superior officer. Afterward, with the intercession of the Bracer Guild and the Septian Church, the war was brought to an end, but it was at this time that Cassius lost what he treasured most in all the world. Lena, your mother, Estelle. That clock tower was destroyed by the Imperial Army's vain attempts to hold back the counteroffensive. What followed, I am sure you know. Cassius was not even able to be by his wife's side in her final moments. No, I had no idea, and he believed that the military operation that he himself had planned effectively caused her death. Blaming himself, he left the military and took up the path of the Bracer, all to stay with the only one he had left, you. And this time he swore he would be able to protect those he loved. Dad, that idiot. It wasn't his fault that Mum died. How could he even think that? Estelle. Yes, you are correct. Given that all he lost was in service to his country, the responsibility falls upon me, and so I am sorry, Estelle. I failed to protect your mother. I have wished to apologize to you for a long time. But you don't need to apologize. You've protected the peace of this country ever since the war ended. The peace that Dad and all the other soldiers who defended Liberal in the war fought so hard to protect. And the peace that Mum gave her life for, so I could live in it. You have nothing to be sorry for. Estelle, you have a kind heart, and I am grateful. It gladdens my heart to have finally met you in person. Now, more than ever, Your Majesty. However, that is why I do not wish you to put yourself in danger. I would like for you to remove yourself from any dealings with this matter. What? But, Julia, I mean, Lieutenant Schwartz asked us to help you. I thank you, and I'm grateful for your willingness to do so. But if some tragedy were to befall you in Cassius's absence, I know of no apology that could ever suffice. I ask only that you go back to your home in Roland and wait for your father to return. But if I may, Your Majesty, the peace that Dad restored and that you protect, though it has held firm, now trembles like a leaf in the breeze. Joshua, if the Colonel is able to use the gospel for whatever purpose he intends, and if he succeeds in making the Duke the new King of Liberal, then what will become of that peace? I ask only that you consider that. Also, hasn't come up just yet, but Queen Alicia does not seem to be sick. As expected, or as I was expecting, she's basically confined to house arrest at the moment. At least that's my interpretation of the situation. Your Majesty, right when we became junior bracers, we inherited a whole lot of work from Dad. After the Sky Bandit incident, we got that letter and the package, and we've been running all around creation ever since. It feels to us like our dad's been nudging us in the back this whole time. That's why I want to defend the peace. So that everyone we've met and everyone we care about can go on living secure and happy lives. Just like you, and just like Mom and Dad. I'm doing this because it's what I believe is right, and I really want to see it through. Estelle, it seems she was right about you. Huh? I, too, am ready. I would like for the two of you to carry my request to the Bracer Guild. Your Majesty, my liege, we will do whatever you ask. My request is for the Bracer Guild to rescue those being held captive by the Intelligence Division. Amongst them is my granddaughter, Claudia. Aha, so the princess is being held captive somewhere. Yes. This coup d'etat started when I backed her as the successor to the throne. In other words, Duke Dunan was out of the running. Yes, though he is my nephew, he is possessed of a considerable number of character flaws. You don't say. In brief, where he is lacking, my granddaughter shines. For the sake of this nation's future, I would have my granddaughter succeed me. Well, I don't actually know her, but I personally lean towards the idea that your judgment should really be trusted here. No matter the era, there will always be those who object strongly to a woman wielding political power. Not to mention, the memory of the invasion by a larger power is still relatively fresh. Some of them will perceive a succession of 2 consecutive queens to be a sign of weakness. It is hardly surprising that such a notion has taken root in the minds of some. Some including Colonel Richard, I presume. Quite right. Well, I mean, if you want to dispel that notion, you just have to declare war on someone, right? Make like the Queens of Europe. As I recall, the Queens of Europe are actually responsible for more wars than the kings were. It's kind of a funny quirk of history, maybe overcompensating for being seen as weak or something. I don't know. Anyway, Claudia's pending succession to the throne caught him quite unawares. That, along with his passing of this information to the Duke, is what led to this coup. This was all staged so that Liberal would become a strong military power, with the Colonel ruling from the shadows. I see. That finally lets us see the whole picture. So if Liberal became a militarized country, what would happen then? A great many things. Taxes would be levied to fill the war chest, horrible weaponry would be deployed with the express intent of causing havoc on a massive scale, a wide-ranging policy of conscription would be adopted, and no doubt contracting Jägerkorps would be made legal, which is not the case at present. Oh no. Indeed, the Colonel has made very adamant requests that I enact such policies. I thought that such proposals were born out of genuine love for his country, but I never agreed that they were the right course of action to take. The Royal Army is not all that protects this land. We have worked hard to maintain treaties with other countries. Defending a nation goes hand in hand with free cultural exchange and trade with all other nations to the benefit of all. I feel the same way, Your Majesty. Yeah, makes sense to me. The Colonel, however, finds such notions to be womanly and foolishly idealistic, and so he demanded that I abdicate the throne in exchange for Claudia's safe return. But many people have had family members taken to ensure that they would not dare to oppose the Colonel. But I am the Queen, and I will not allow all that I love about my country to be destroyed simply because of blood ties. Still, she is my only granddaughter. I cannot simply allow her to die. Your Majesty, please try to relax. We hear and comply with your request. We will see to it that the princess is rescued from those who have imprisoned her. I guess that's also when we're gonna find Chloe, right? Because she was abducted. Thank you, both of you. With that reassurance, I will do all I can to oppose the Colonel's demands. Have you any other requests, Your Majesty? The Gospel still has to be dealt with, and I don't think we should just leave you here. I appreciate your sentiment, Estelle, but the present state of affairs is not contingent upon my freedom or imprisonment. The Gospel shall continue to weigh heavily on my mind for a great many reasons. For my part, I will attempt to ascertain the Colonel's true intentions with it. Well, plot just happened. Ah, wow, what a totally awesome person. Super nice, but with a seriously strong will. I hope I'm even 1/10 that cool when I get old. Cool? Did you actually just call the Queen that? Still, she definitely has what it takes to govern a whole country. Yeah, I really want to stop this coup thingy and help her. That's definitely outside of Bracer jurisdiction. Well, first things first, we do whatever we can. Right. But you know, I'm still freaking out about what the Queen told us about Dad. I wonder if she's got any more tidbits she'd be willing to share. Stella and Joshua, have you finished changing? Oh, yeah. Then we should return to the waiting room at once. It's already after 11 o'clock. Actually, it's almost midnight. Whoa, is it really that late? The Queen spoke with us for a long time. If we stay any longer, it's apt to make the guards suspicious. Yeah, nothing to do here. We'll go back up this way. Will she complain? No. We're just gonna go barging right on in. And she won't say a thing. Oh, this is pretty. Well now, I was wondering how Hilda managed to get you two in here. Now I see. Oh right, Joshua's not going to be happy that we did this. Those outfits were a marvelous idea. You both look quite convincing. Estelle, Joshua, I haven't had such a wonderful day in a very long time. You must come again for tea. I'd like it if Claudia and Cassius could join us next time. We could all have a nice chat together. Do the stairs look better if I'm not running? No, it's just kind of an awkward thing where they suddenly jump elevation as they with each step. Are you going home for the day, Miss Hilda? Yes, I believe so. Just be sure not to do Her Majesty any further discourtesy. That's not fair. But please, relax. We are patriots to the core. That's good to hear. Now I believe that we shall be on our way. Pardon me. By your leave. By the way, ladies, also, Joshua, how feminine is your voice? Can you pull that off? I don't think we ever got your names. May we ask them? Oh, I have to actually choose something? Why would the game make me do this? Who is Lena? I know Shara and Dorothy, I remember them. Who is Lena? Oh, that's her mother. Oh. I kinda want to just go with Dorothy, so I'm going to. That's a very modern name. Pardon my saying so, but it just doesn't sound right for you. Ain't that the truth? How about you, miss? You may call me Karen. Karen, you say? That's a very pretty name. Too kind, sir. I'm rather fond of it myself. Are you now? Alright, we're with the Special Ops. My name is... I think that's just about enough. I sense an ulterior motive at work. No, I mean, at least not from us. Please be safe on your way home. Now we're keeping watch over Her Majesty. Nothing to worry about. I don't know why I didn't read that whole line. Well, aren't you Mr. Popularity? It was like their eyes all changed when you told them your name. Hey, it was not. I didn't see you shying away from joining in the conversation. Sure, but that doesn't mean I wasn't nervous. I kinda lost all my confidence there. What's all the noise about? Oh, Duke Dunan. Ah, it's the lady of the court. Hey, you maids. You don't look familiar. These are two of the new hires whom I'm instructing. This is Dorothy and that's Karen. They're still quite inexperienced, so I'm giving them some extra training time. Did he recognize us? Not good. Given how many times we've run into him, it'd be bizarre if he didn't recognize us. Come now, Philip. Philip, enough with the staring. Haha, it's quite unusual to see coming from you, stiff upper lip and all. Please, pardon my rudeness. You look much like my niece. My eyes are playing tricks on me, it seems. I am dreadfully sorry for the discourtesy. Oh, it's no bother. Please don't concern yourself. No. Now that I stop and look, I must say that you both are quite lovely. You with the brown hair, you have a certain healthy, clean look to you. As for you, I personally think you'd look best with that raven hair of yours even longer. I'm honored. Yes. Dorothy, was it not? You shall attend to me this evening! Your Grace. I don't want to serve him tea. I don't think tea is what he wants served. Your Grace, your flirtations, while flattering, are best saved for another time and place. All of the maids in this castle work directly in service to Her Majesty, Queen Alicia. I trust you've not forgotten? I know. Some folks simply can't appreciate a joke. Well, the castle will be mine in a week's time anyway. We can set aside time for some fun then. Your Grace, please, no more of this. I do not mind when you drink to excess, but you know how your libido gets in such instances. I say this knowing full well that I may be reprimanded for... But I said I was just joking! Enough, I'm going to bed. As you wish, Your Grace. Your room is right over there. Whoa, oh, right. Dorothy. You just let me know if you have any problems. Anything at all. I'll give you the best advice the future king can give. Thank you very much. Aren't you cute? Yes, good. I apologize unreservedly for all the fuss. His Grace will likely remember nothing of this come the morning. Please, set your minds at ease. I should certainly hope so. I am truly sorry. Madam and young missus, I beg your pardon, but I must take my leave. I feel so badly for him. He truly seems to bear the weight of the world on his shoulders. Oh, do you know Mr. Philip personally? Well, I guess Mr. Philip is basically like Hilda, right? Same kind of position. Yes, ever since we were children, though not nearly as well as we once did, thanks to the one he serves. I see. He sure seems like he's nervous all the time, doesn't he? I'll bet that everything between the Duke and the Colonel has him completely on edge. Probably, yeah. By the way, what was that you were saying earlier about me being the popular one? The Duke certainly seemed awfully fond of you. Please, I'd like to keep my food in my stomach, thank you. Alright, back to before. I feel like I'm missing something. Why would the Duke want tea so late? Well, you see... Estelle, allow me to elucidate the matter of tea and why gentlemen should never request it in polite company. Huh? Come closer. Hilda whispered something into Estelle's ear. Now do you understand? Yes. Hopeless. Completely hopeless. Thanks for everything, both of you. If not for you, I don't know what we'd have done. Please, it was the least we could do in Her Majesty's service. I only ask that you complete the request she made of you. I feel the same way. I beg of you, do everything in your power to save the princess. Oh, are you one of her royal retainers? Yes, I regret that I rarely get the chance to serve her directly. She's so kind and open. She's always treated me more like a friend than a servant. The thought of her being held captive keeps me up at night. So is this public knowledge within the... well, public knowledge, I guess, within the maid staff? Do all of the maids know what's going on? And if so, couldn't we have just skipped the conversation with the Queen? I guess the more likely thing here is that I guess we've told them everything that we were... about the conversation with the Queen. Or Hilda was eavesdropping. That's always a possibility too. I understand. Well, you can rest easy now that we're on the job. We'll save her. Shall we be going? I don't believe any suspicions have been raised. Just keep alert until you return to your room. You never can be too certain how closely the intelligence division is watching you. Oh, I do hope the princess is doing all right. I should have gone with her. Is that a hint that one of the two of you are a leak here? I mean, if that was the case, I'm sure we would have been captured well before this. Oh dear, this is Amalthea, isn't it? What? Might I inquire? Are you doing at this late hour? Ah. Captain Amalthea. Good evening. I realize that you've been invited here. But don't you think it's a bit late for you kids to be out walking around? Please, pardon us. We've simply never been in a castle like this, and we couldn't resist the urge to take a look around. Oh, that's certainly understandable. So, where were you half an hour ago? Please enlighten me, if only for my own edification. Oh dear. Well, that's certainly not the right answer, because if we say that, that's like a restricted area, right? I mean, we were in the cellar, and we talked to the guard there. What was that? Just what do you think you were doing down there? We weren't doing anything in particular. Come, let's not waste time on games. I've received numerous reports of you going in and out of the maid quarters several times. Do you not think it a bit odd to be looking around in that particular place? What? You don't think that questioning someone like that when you already have the facts is a little cruel? I'll take that as a compliment. Okay, you are cartoon evil. So what business have you in the maid quarters? I suggest you answer honestly. Well, Oh, Estelle, Joshua. You been here the whole time? Zin, please rescue us. You do not look that steady. Oh, now that's the stuff. You're drunk. Oops. Sorry. Okay, so I guess how we're going to get out of this is he's probably going to hit on her, because he had a thing for her before, right? Hey, if it isn't my favorite gorgeous officer lady. Nice, some luck that we meet up again, eh? I suppose. So, what's going on? Are my students here causing any trouble? Students? No, it's just that they were in the maid quarters for a while. I merely wanted to know their business, simply as a security precaution. Yeah, I totally getcha. I just sent them off to find some munchies to go with my booze. Hey, Joshua, you kids find anything to eat? No, the cooks aren't back yet, I guess. We went to ask the maid if there was any way we could get our hands on something, but no luck. Oh well, I'll have to do without, I guess. Hey, I just had a great idea. You want to come and join me for a drink? I mean, hey, nothing goes with drinks like a beautiful lady. I'm afraid I'm busy, so I'll have to decline your generous offer. My apologies for the misunderstanding, but I would advise you to return to your room and remain there for the rest of the night. I have to investigate any suspicious activity, you understand. Of course. It is late. We should probably just get to bed. Very good, then. Now, if you'll excuse us. Aw, denied. Oh well, might as well just go back to the room. Right. We'll go with you. Looks like we managed to convince her, at least. What? Sin, aren't you drunk? I was acting drunk. I haven't had a single drop. No way, your face had even gone all red. He's focused on making his blood circulate better, which made it look like he was intoxicated. He's done some kind of Eastern martial arts breathing exercise, right? Huh, I'm surprised you're familiar with it. But hey, you seem to be in a tight spot, so I figured I'd distract everyone. Nice, huh? Saved your bacon, as the saying goes. You're an evil, evil man, Zin. Okay, sure, you did help us out, but you also surprised the hell out of me. I'm sorry about that. So, what's the story? What story? I would have thought it'd be obvious. The story of you meeting with the Queen. Whoa, wait, what? How did you... Did Eldon tell you something about this? Actually, I couldn't get him to tell me anything. But now I know anyway, don't I? Without prior knowledge, there's no way you could have just guessed. So how much do you really know? I guess it's finally time to show you this. Zin produced a letter from his pocket and handed it to Estelle and Joshua. What's this? I know this handwriting. Well, don't just stand there. Read it. It'll explain a lot. Okay. Dear Zin Vathek. Vathek. I hope this letter finds you well. I know I've been out of touch. I'm in a hurry, so I hope you'll pardon my bluntness. My work concerning the Jaegers is leading me into Imperial territory. However, due to the fact that unusual forces seem to be influencing matters inside Liberal, I feel uneasy being absent for so long. This is why I must ask a favor of you. Could I persuade you to come to Liberal and help out, if they need it? Since you haven't been to Liberal before, perhaps you could think of it as a recreational trip. There is a martial arts competition before the Queen's birthday celebration, and foreigners can participate. It would make fine camouflage. I realize that this is sudden, but if you can do it, I would be most grateful. I'm intending to return to Liberal before the festival, so hopefully we'll be able to have a drink together when I return. Cassius Bright. Yeah, that's who I thought it would be from. Yes, You may have the chance to meet my son and daughter. They're currently apprentices at the guild, so if you happen to meet them, feel free to test the extent of their training. Try not to bail them out too much unless it seems like they really need it. So Dad actually asked you to come to Liberal, which means he's in Erebonia now. That's the long and short of it. The long and short of it? What it means is that you were in cahoots with him all along. That's kind of a nasty way to put it, don't you think? I owed Master Cassius a favor from the time he spent in Calvard. This letter just gives me the chance to make us square again. I suppose. When did you realize that we were his kids? I had a feeling from the outset, once I saw Estelle's techniques with the bow staff. I asked Kilika about it, and that confirmed it. It would have been nice if you'd said something about it at all. We've been worried sick wondering where Dad's been. I know, and I'm sorry I haven't said anything. But I got the impression from the letter that he was trying to keep his whereabouts a secret. Still, you're definitely his kids, all right. If you can pull off a job as big as sneaking an audience with the Queen. I suppose so. He knows this much. It wouldn't hurt to tell him everything, right? I agree. It'd probably be best to fill Zin in on everything. It is a bit far-fetched to say that we could put an end to this whole situation on our own, after all. Estelle and Joshua told of how they managed to speak directly with the Queen, and this is actually probably a good idea at this point, just in case Estelle and Joshua get apprehended by the special ops on the way out, because they don't have reason to suspect Zin yet, as far as I know, unless he's been up to nefarious stuff as well. So this way, even if Estelle and Joshua were to get apprehended, Zin would still be able to take the message to the Bracer Guild. As well as the Queen's request to safely rescue Princess Claudia. Did I read that previous line? I think I did. I see. I thought something seemed a little off when everyone was talking at the party. Alright then, I'll help you out with that little request. What? You will? Yep, I think this is the ideal opportunity to settle my debt to Master Cassius. Please, let me help. We'd be glad to. Thank you, once again. What is this place? Is this the underground place we were told about? I guess that's what that sealed door was in the cellar. I never would have imagined something like this even existed. It's larger than I expected. Lieutenant Lawrence, if you'd be so kind as to show us the way to the lowest level? Yes, sir. Whoa. Is that some kind of mechanical monster? Oh well. So these must be archaisms. Archaism? Archaisms. Oh, holy shit! You took out that thing in one stroke. You were the quickest to react. You are indeed truly a force to be reckoned with when you don't hold back. You flatter me, sir. Your quick-draw technique as well was quite remarkable to behold. I can see that you've studied under the Divine Blade himself. I am humbled. I still have a ways to go before I can really humble anyone, I'm afraid. But time waits for no man. The skills I possess now will have to be enough. My strength may be meager, but I must forge this kingdom's future with my own two hands. My brave men, the way to the ultimate power is open. A bright new dawn approaches for our beloved Liberal. I expect only the best of each of you. By your order, sir. We of the Special Ops will work as one for the Colonel. For the glory of Liberal! For the glory of Liberal! I understand the situation. You've both performed admirably. I'm amazed that you were able to deliver the Professor's message to Her Majesty in person. We just got lucky is all. The real question is, how much longer is luck going to be on our side? Yes, we're really going to have to stay focused. If you understand that already, then there is nothing more that I need to tell you. In any case, we can consider Professor Russell's request to be fulfilled. Please, accept this as compensation for a job well done. Are we promoted to full-fledged bracers? Receive payment to Queen Alicia. It's a lot of money and a lot of bracer points. Oh, we did get to first class. Okay. Is there a rank above this? I wonder. Yeah, well, 300 is a nice even number, but for our bracer points. I received Gladiator Belt. Didn't we already have one of those? Now then, Zin. It was pure providence that Cassius invited you here. We need the help of an A-rank bracer like yourself. No need to even ask. Even if I didn't have a debt to repay to Cassius, I couldn't possibly stand by idly in a situation like this. I'm with you until the end. I mean, isn't that actually kind of dangerous now that I think about it? Because you're from another country. This could create an incident, couldn't it? Well, I guess you'd be a lone actor. I don't know if they'd be able to pin that on the Calvert Republic Parliament, I guess. The Republic would have a parliament, right? No. I don't know, I'm getting things mixed up. I knew we could count on you, Zin. By the way, what's this A-rank business? Is a rank that signifies a full-fledged bracer's full power. There are 7 ranks, ranging from G at the bottom up to A at the top. So he's the highest rank you can get? Wow, I never knew you were such a badass, Zin. Well, I may be A-ranked, but I'm still an underling, so to speak. There are 20 A-rankers across the continent. But above that, there's an informal S rank. Of course there is. That one's only granted to bracers who successfully resolve issues on a national scale. And there are only 4 of those on the entire continent. Whoa, I'm not sure I even want to think of what they can do. You really don't know any of this stuff, do you? One of those 4 is Master Cassius, of course. Is this really a surprise at this point, Estelle? What? Okay, Joshua, you're not going to tell me that you already knew about this already, right? Right? Sorry, but yes I did. He solved a major case for the Republic about 5 years ago. I swear, it's hardly worth even getting upset about anymore. Royal Army soldier, hidden hero, divine blade, S-rank bracer. If he's really so damned awesome, then it sure would be nice if he'd come back and take care of this case. You may be right. If you were with us, perhaps this would never have escalated to the point where a coup d'etat was even possible. Joshua, what's wrong? Just thinking about how strange this is. This whole chain of events apparently started with Dad going off on his trip. It's as if whoever planned the coup was waiting for him to be gone. At least, it's just the impression I have. Oh. So what you're saying is that the coup was planned around his departure for the Empire. Am I correct? No, I'm sure that would be overthinking things. I can't think of anyone who could possibly manipulate Dad like that without him noticing he was being used. They'd have to know him and his behavior patterns exceptionally well to be able to pull it off. You mean like Colonel Richard, who worked under him in the army? Well, yeah, I never knew what he was up to, even when he was so close. I don't think that Colonel Richard could have ever managed to pull the wool over his eyes. More likely it's just that 2 major events happened to overlap with each other. Regardless of the circumstance, we cannot currently rely on Cassius to help. Therefore, I am resolved to prepare for the worst. I believe an emergency conference of the Grand Cell branch of the Bracer Guild is called for. Huh? All other things being equal, we have a request that comes directly from Her Majesty the Queen. The 3rd article of the Bracer Code states that we shall never act in a fashion that interferes with the government. We cannot ignore Her Majesty's request, however, so we must act. But we're no match for the Royal Army as we are. I ask the cooperation of all bracers in Grand Cell, including Zin, of course. Oh, okay. If we come into conflict with the Intelligence Division, we'll need all the help we can get. Ideally, we should have the cooperation of other branches, but the checkpoints have been completely sealed off as of today, ostensibly to foil any potential terrorist activity. What? So basically it amounts to martial law. So the enemy is finally moving at full tilt. This may be to stifle any activity on the part of any Royal Guardsmen in hiding, as well as ourselves. If we're going to conduct a rescue operation, we'll have to do it with the resources on hand. Oh, fun. But we're up to it. So, do we have any idea of where the prisoners are being held? Probably that other building that we didn't access. That's been on my mind for a while now, actually. I believe the most likely place to be the Urbe Royal Villa. Bingo. That's a building in the forest, right? It would make sense, yet the special ops people were shooing us away from there. If the soldiers are using it under the pretense of counter-terrorism, few would question it. And I can't imagine they'd want to lock a lady of the royal family in a cell in Leiston Fortress. Considering it's the army we're going to be going against here, I'd like a more solid confirmation, however. If we assaulted the wrong place, we'd have hell to pay for it. Yes, precisely. But in either case, we must assemble any bracers currently in the royal city. Could I ask you to assemble them here for me? Any information you could gather while doing so would be much appreciated. If I'm not mistaken, Estelle, you and your friends are acquainted with a reporter, correct? Oh, you mean Neil? Yeah, we should see if he's picked up anything significant. Also, you must attempt to enlist the aid of the guardsmen who are in hiding. If you can get them to contact me, it would be greatly appreciated. So in other words, yeah, we have to find Schwarz. Yes, we need to get in touch with Sister Julia. She helped us with the invitation before, so we should let her know what's going on. So off to the cathedral then. There are 4 other bracers in the city: Kurt, Grant, Karna, and Annalise. Yes, I am aware. Check the bars and their usual hangouts. They may also be in the hotel. If you see them, please instruct them to come back here. Sure thing. Alright, then off we go. Yeah, there are 4 other bracers in Grancel, blah blah blah. Now if you should hear from the Royal Guardsman or your reporter, things would go much more smoothly. Wow, this was a lot of notes on to Queen Alicia. Okay, hostages are likely being held in the Herbe Royal Villa. We should consult with the other bracers. We should speak with Neil and make sure that First Lieutenant Schwarz knows about it. Yep. In other words, we get to run around town and talk to everybody probably one last time before going to what I imagine is going to be the culmination of this entire game. Or maybe after the rescue operation there will be one more thing. So we'll do the Herbe Villa and then we go back to the castle and we go to that sealed chamber. Maybe there's two more acts still in this chapter, maybe. Anyway, that's all speculation for the future. As it stands, we are out on a fetch quest, effectively. So we'll do that next time. I will see you then.